Hello, welcome back, welcome back. Great to have you here at the Nook. I have kind of a little tiny bit of a mess here. I am working on a ring binder journal. It's a collage front, lace covered ring binder journal. And I'm just sort of taking my cue from the collage on the front as to what I put in it. For instance, I've decided that I will include some of each of these pages that I've made way back when I did my pouches that had, oh man, they just had a whole grouping of different things in them, and they had tags, and I made the tags from napkins that I ironed onto paper with plastic wrap. And so I just decided I was going to include these pages, some of each of these into this journal. I don't know why I'm so bleh. I've been up a while now. Maybe that's it. So I just want to show you that this page has a tuck spot here. Am I in? Ooh, am I in? And it has a tuck spot here. And then if you want to turn it, this is vintage wrapping paper. Then you have a tuck spot here. And you have a tuck spot here. And this is avocado dyed paper. And I will figure out who did this wondrous stuff for me and put that in the description. So I'm going to make a couple of these in different, they're going to have different. This is some more of the vintage wrapping paper, and this will be another one of these type pages, and it will have no envelope because now I can't find what I did with the envelope that I was just messing with when I started the camera. How super duper is that? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to include this envelope for this page. And what I have done, I have elected not to cut off the flap, but to just glue it down. So I have glued the flap down in there, and this is another avocado dyed envelope. And what I will do is fold it in half now that it has dried a little bit. And then I will fix it to the side of the page. And then again, you're going to have a tuck spot there, and you're going to have a tuck spot back there. And then when you flip the page, you're going to have a tuck spot here and a tuck spot here. And I think that'll just make some fun pages for the journal. And I'm just gathering them up, and I like one of Laura's tips and tricks. I like to put them in one of these plastic snap pouches. When I'm working on signatures, when I'm working on pages, I like to put them in here. Then I know they're all together, and I can even put these over here, these napkin pages in the back, and will, when I stop to take a break to do some of the other things I need to do. So let's get to getting and do this page. So what I like to do is just kind of give myself an idea of where the glue is going to go. And then I'm not gluing all over the place. And you can use whatever, on a binder journal, you can use whatever cardstock you want to use. I'm using a little bit lighter one for this because I'm covering it, and I just don't want it to be super, super thick if I'm covering it. And on my last one I did like this, there was not enough wrapping paper to cover both sides completely. So not a problem. I just did a little mathing, not much, not much. I did a little mathing and figured out that I could come within a quarter of an inch of the holes. And so I left that open. And then when I went to put on my spine piece to reinforce the spine where the holes will go, that covered what was not covered previously. And as you can see, it looks just fine. You can't tell. There's always a fix, which thankfully, because I always need a fix. I don't always have it in the road. Not always. So here we are. And there'll be a couple of them, a couple of different kinds of envelope pages, because they're great pockets and organizers. And this one is vintage wrapping paper. And we are going to slide this avocado dyed envelope on there. As you can see, I have glued the inside, folded it, and we're just gonna slide it right on there. Now, if you'll give me a moment, through the wonder of video, I'll go sew this and be right back. Alrighty, it has been sewn. So now you can put a tag in here, put a tag in here. You can put a tag in here or in here. So that is pretty slick and awesome. A little bit cold. So here's another one done. So here are two pocket. Let's see if I can put that under something and let it sit down better. Here are two pocket pages. Very exciting. And I will just pop those in. As I said, I love putting things into just a plastic sleeve so I know where everything is, and I've got everything that I'm in the process of working on. And I am going to figure out how I can incorporate this. I want to decoupage a page, and then I want this to be a pocket. Obviously, it can't be a pocket like that, but I want to figure out how I can decoupage and incorporate the decoupage into this so that it looks like part of the scenery and then is also a pocket. That's my hope. That's my plan. And I always like gluing the flap if I can. I just think it gives extra strength to a pocket. Stamina, good grief. Extra strength to a pocket. And hopefully I got it so they can glue down and not show. Yay. I did. What do you know? Whee! This is going to be an interesting one. We could skip ahead and do this one now. This is something that I saw on G. Kerr's channel, and it is making a tuck spot with an envelope, but you're going to get rid of both the upper and the lower flap, and I am just going to glue them to the back because you're going to glue that to your page. I don't have a page ready. So, wondering if I should use one of these floral pages. Okay, guys, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to go and get some avocado dyed paper and make a smaller envelope. We're going to measure these, and then I'm going to make one smaller out of the avocado dyed paper because these are going to be too big. They're just going to take up the whole page. And if y'all haven't used this before, you just look what you want to do. I want a 3.5 by 3.5. That means I have to cut a piece of paper 5.5 by 5.5. And my very first page starts at 2 3/4. I line the edge of this up to 2 3/4, and I punch it and I score it. And then after that, you turn it counterclockwise and you line up with your last score line. Punch it and score it. And then you just line it up. Punch it and score it. There's really no way to mess it up, really. You just turn it counterclockwise, line it up, punch it, and score it. And that does it for the mini envelope maker. And so then you're going to want to fold on your score lines, and that will give you your envelope. And then, let's see which two. I think it'll be this way. This one and this one will fold back. And yeah, that's so much better. And then we're going to have a tuck spot. We're going to have a tuck spot when we finish this that we can just send something through right there. But I've got to figure out what I want to put here. We're going to glue them together. And we could go ahead and do that. We're going to glue this together, but then we want to embellish it a little bit because, you know, you got to embellish. So we're gluing it together. Apparently we're not gluing it together. Apparently we're gluing it all over the place but together. Okay, there. Just let that go for a minute. Turn it over. We're going to glue these suckers down because they will be glued to the paper. And you can cut them off. You absolutely can cut them off if you don't want the extra. If you're doing a journal where you are sewing your signatures in, you probably will want to cut these off so that you don't have the extra bulk. But in a binder, you get a little bit of extra room, and you can always take things out. Take pages out, take tags out, that kind of thing. So this is going to be glued to the page. Some things are not, but it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful little tuck spot. And we are going to just tuck it in right down here at the bottom after we figure out how we want to embellish it, because I want to do some decoupage on it, and then I want to probably put a little flower in the middle. So I have to think about that and what I want to do. But in the meantime, I will clip it together so I can keep it all together in my pamphlet so I know what page it's going with. And I can just pop it right on into my folder that has other pages, and we will get to the point where we're embellishing, and we can embellish that sucker. All right, guys, we've got a couple of envelope pages that are going to be pockets, and then we have this sort of envelope page, and then we have just some cardstock that we can use however we decide we want to. And I believe next on the list, when we come back, I'm going to make some paper pages that might have some of the napkin on them. So I'm going to get my coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to take apart this napkin because I believe it is going to be just the right size that I can use all 6 flowers. And I'm really excited about that because I'll still then have a middle section that I can use to make some pockets, some basic pockets. And work with it from there. Thanks for watching. Come right back. I'll be taking apart the plies on this napkin, figuring out how many can go on the coffee dyed paper, and working on more pages for this wonderful collage ring binder lace covered journal. Thanks everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.